Morning, everyone. I'm here. I'm here. I'm glad you're joining me today. And I want to thank you for your grace and kindness that you shared with me on Monday. I was having a really bad day. All right. And I know for those of you, well, in the world, it's been some hard times, and hard emotions and all that kind of stuff. So rather than, I didn't know how I could get on and just start talking about how to quilting designs. I didn't know how to do that and how to do it with grace. And so I just said, okay, I can't do it. So I didn't show up. And you guys, I put a little message out on my Facebook, and I just want to thank you so much for your kindness. All right. So this is what happened. I decided not to do it, and I went out for a walk. And I came up with a really great idea. I had to clear my head, okay? But before we get to that, we have to get to this. Who's walking by? I want to answer some questions for you, okay, and show you some cool stuff. First of all, I got a question on how do you know when a needle is used up in your sewing machine? Well, there's a couple ways. First of all, if it's not getting a beautiful straight stitch, consider it being your needle. Well, first of all, I'm going to say they tell you to change it every 6 to 8 hours. I don't know when that is, all right? Then the second thing would be if the fabric starts getting punched down into the hole, you probably need a new needle. But the third thing that's going to sound, or you break it, that's the third thing. That's usually when I change mine, because changing a needle is a pain in the butt. I mean, it just is. But the other thing that's really interesting is you can hear it sometimes. You can hear it hammering against the fabric. So that's when you change your needle. And what I do is I take a little pill box. I should have brought one. Maybe I've got one here. I take a little pill box. Let me see. No, I don't have one. Yeah, I do. I can't believe it. Be right back. I take a little pill box and then I drilled a little hole in it like with an owl, boom, with a hammer. And then I just put them in here, the broken needles, so it doesn't end up in my hand, in my foot, in the trash, and you push down the trash, and then you got an issue with all that. So, yeah, needles, you do have to change them, okay? Then the other thing, and I can't find the person, I'm so sorry, wrote me, and she was having a terrific time with her fabric fraying using applistick. So I've never really quite had that problem. So I called up Kay, the mastermind behind these products on how to make them work so well for us. If you're finding it's fraying with your applistick, you might consider putting on, and it doesn't come like this, but you can imagine I have bolts of it, this fabric prep on the back. You won't even know it's there. You iron it on, it's super duper sheer, and that will stop the fraying. The reason it's fraying is it's probably have to do with the fibers that are in your fabric. Like, for instance, there's no way a batik's going to fray because it's so tightly woven. But I didn't know it. I'd never experienced it, and that's why I didn't get back to you right off the bat. I had to talk to Kay, and yesterday was a crazy day because they were doing spring market online at Quilt Inc., and I was all worried about not screwing that up. And fortunately, I made it work. I mean, all this new technology is just kind of amazing. And then Tony Johnson sent me this, and I want you guys to see this. She sent us her quilt top. Look at that, you guys. It's fabulous. And I love how she's got the fruit. There's fruit, obviously, in her fabric. And I love how she's got the fruit up in the bouquet, as well as the butterflies and things like that. So congratulations. And then Rondi, who lives around the corner from me, sent me her blocks. And she said to me, she said, she did what I did with the center and vice versa with those wonderful corn flowers, I don't know what they are. And she said she would never buy that fabric, and somehow she found it in her collection. So that was pretty exciting that she could use that too. So I really appreciate sending these pictures, and also sometimes in the comments people are throwing them in. So that's a fun place to go and look. So this weekend I got my quilt quilted. Diane Schweikert. I decided I don't want to do this. So I sent it to Diane Schweikert, and she whipped this out in no time for me. So I'm going to hold it up. I know I can't really talk. I love these waves going across. There's something soft and wonderful and warm, but something super modern. And then I just had her just go straight across everything in there. All right. But let me tell you a little bit what we're going to be doing here. All right. Okay. We are going to do Beautifully Quilted, the tips and tricks I learned from Lucy Hilty, next week. All right. I don't want to start it today and then go through the weekend. And as I mentioned, when I was on my walk, I came up with a really great idea. Okay. Back in the day, I love to do Redwork, and I still do. And let's take a look at some Redwork here that I have. I have a lot of antique pieces, and what did I do with it? Oh, I can't believe it. No, I can. The thing is, oh, here we go. I always put things on top of things. So these are called penny squares, and this might be typically what you would see with old-fashioned Redwork. And the great thing about Redwork is that you can take it with you. You know, if you're going to be flying or traveling, there's just not a whole lot to it, all right? Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I just realized that's like a little Dutch shoe, huh? So cute. Okay, this one's making me hungry. These were called, I believe, penny squares, and I've got a whole bunch of them. And I've got a bunch of really nice antique pieces, including a petticoat. So let's go up here for camera and go back to my face. The program's acting a little goofy. So my girlfriend said, why don't you, you've got a voice, why don't you do some powerful things, okay? And things that might have a message. And so I came up with this book, and I came up with this technique called shadow redwork. And the idea is that you have this classical redwork going on, but John, is everything okay?
Yes.
Okay. He said, don't come in here when I'm doing this, unless the house is on fire. What I did was I drew these different flowers, and then I put in ecru behind the back saying, like this one, I'm going to read to you what the saying is. It's greatness is where simplicity, goodness, and truth are found. And so here's the Redwork, and then in ecru, I do the writing in the back, all right? Here's another one of the pillows. Love is patient and kind, all right? So I don't even know why I did this, but I made this pillow, and let's take a look at it here. And it's called Love Thy Neighbor. And this is actually when Ricky and I went on a road trip up to Groveland, California in an RV. And I had to decorate the bedroom. Now, Ricky and I are not husband and wife or anything like that, but I had to make the RV cute, right? And I also brought the quilt that Deb Silva made for me, the house quilt, and put it in the bed area. But I love this, and this particular pillow actually says, let's go over here. Come on, camera. Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong. Sorry, guys. Let's try again. Here it is. It is love thy neighbor. And I remembered this pillow when I was out on my walk on Monday, pulling myself together. I'd forgotten all about the pillow, but because I had cleaned everything out of my closets, I found it. And I love this crazy little pillow. And I think this is just so significant with what is going on in the world right now. Can we just please love our neighbors? So I had a pattern for it. I forgot all about it. I think I used to charge for the pattern, but as a gift from my heart to yours, it's a free pattern that we're offering on TQS. And Kristen's going to get it on the front page if it's not there already at thequiltshow.com. And I think it's something lovely that we could work on right now, getting the correct messages into our hearts, all right? So to do Redwork is really, the tools are minimal. This is what you need. And my guess is you probably have this in your stash. First of all, you need just some white fabric. And we're talking about that pillow that we're doing, all right? This is, I think, Moda's, just one of their whites. It doesn't matter which brand. It just absolutely doesn't matter. I like to use an embroidery hoop. This is a small one. Probably, let me measure it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you don't have to do an embroidery hoop, but this can keep your fabric from drawing up. Here's another one, and this is an expensive one. I can just tell by the feel. This is probably, I paid 25 cents for it or whatever at Michael's. This is a lovely one that is a little, oh, this one, yeah, I can feel it. It's like when you can just know the good stuff. This one's made in Germany. This one is 5 inches. I wish that this one was made out of this because this just feels so good. I like smaller is better because my hands have a hard time reaching and all this. But man, that feels good. I don't care so much for ones like this because this ring can get in the way, all right? And then here's a plastic one that's just a little bit bigger and that would work. I have plenty of these, you guys. So anyway, so you're gonna need that. You're gonna need floss. And when I'm doing Redwork, I typically use this DMC 817, but truly you can use any floss. This is just the cheapo stuff that you can get, what we would call it the old dime store, all right? But any floss will work, all right? And then you've got to transfer the pattern onto here, the fabric. I would steer clear from any lead pencil, and I don't know why, but I just would. I think the lead is softer and it can smear and things like that, so that goes bye-bye. In the olden days, I used a silver Verithin pencil, just a silver pencil, because it's not going to smear. Nowadays, I would probably use my friction pen, all right? Because then if I don't exactly get on the lines, I can go put my iron on it and then it will go away. Now, here's the I mean, I love this pen and I've been shouting it out like crazy. The only way I would use this pen would be if I knew I was going to sit down and do it right away, okay? Because it will go away in about, I don't say 2 to 7 days, depending on your climate. So then you have your needles. I don't have any specific brand that I can say this is the best or whatever, but I look for in my stash for my embroidery needles. And then the next thing I look at is how big is the eye, because I'm going to have to get, look at how big is the eye. And then the other thing is I might start working with a needle and it's fat and it's sluggish going through the fabric. Just throw that pack away. So I'm sure at Quilters Select at some point we'll come up with really great needles. To me, a great needle is a strong needle, a thin needle, and it's got an eye that I can see through. So that's all you need to do this. But then you need to go and print out the pattern. And so here it has some instructions, and I actually read the instructions, and I'm going, yeah, they're pretty good, okay? Here are some tips. Pre-wash your fabric, guys. Test the color fastness of the thread before stitching it. So example, you could take a short length of it and put it in hot water and then take it out the thread and run it through some fabric, like just fold it through or paper towel or something to see if anything comes off. You might want to use a needle threader, all right? And then if you want to, when you're all done to finish and wash it, soak it in water or vinegar bath first to prevent color migration and or use Synthropol. So these are just some tips because, you know, red can cause problems. So here is the pattern and you can, there we go. You can see it's got these hashtags here. Well, they're going to want to line up on top of each other. So I'm going to fold this right like this on the hashtag mark. And then I'm going to bring this over here. And you can see like where the roof line is lining up. And I have to tell you, the inspiration for this was the schoolhouse block of the quilt that Deb Silva made me. So there we go. All right. I do have a light table, and I love owning a light table, but you really don't need one in this case. All right. Let's talk about, there's two things going on here. You've got the wording, love thy neighbor, and then you've got, and it's in dotted lines, and then you've got these solid lines like this. I would just mark the solid lines, which would be the three houses and the flowers, stitch all of that out, but don't start stitching yet. I'm going to show you some cool tricks on Friday. I'm going to have you get prepped today. And then these flowers over here. All right. So, and again, I drew this, which is this side short of a miracle. What I'm going to do is I cut a piece of paper, fabric that's larger than this, and then I just folded it to find the center, and I can line it up with the hashtags, and then I'm going to mark it. So here we go. So I would just go and mark it. Oh, look, it's red. I didn't plan that, you guys. I did not plan that. Like this. And you get the whole thing marked. If you goof up a marking, don't you worry about it. You just go with your iron, touch it, and it will go away. So you can use any color friction pen. Now, I will tell you this. There are people that are from the school of they'll use a red Sharpie, okay? I don't want to live that dangerously because I don't stay on the lines that well, all right? So here we go. Oh, also, we've done some shows on Redwork. Let me show you how to find that here in a minute. Anyways, and so it goes. I don't have to, whoop, see there I goofed it up. I can take my iron and go, and then go like that. And remember, it is funky. A funky fun thing. Mark the whole thing except the words, okay? Then on Friday, we're gonna start stitching. I have a way that I can do a knotless start, and then we can go from there, all right? What you don't want in Redwork is this, because what's gonna happen is that when you make it into the quilt, all of this is gonna come through. Now, some people like to stitch with, say, a batting on the back, or like my fabric prep on the back. I prefer to do it like a game where I get it as clean as I can. Again, I'll show that Friday. So get this whole thing marked. And then let me show you something else, you guys. Oh, I didn't, did I? Yeah, I did bring it over. Let me get on my face. It's a friction pin, friction. I don't know the right way to say it. So if you go to thequiltshow.com and you go under watch a show, that tab, and then you hit the search button. I put in Redwork, and here are all the shows that come up. Now, when we were down in Texas, we did a show with Rosie De Leon McCready. She is an expert at antique Redwork, how to do it, etc. She designs Redwork. She did a show which was really, really great. And you can see right there on the side what the shows are. So this is a wonderful function of the quiltshow.com that we have. And remember, you guys, also for only $19.95, thank you, Mary Daniel, for only $19.95, you can get half-year membership to thequiltshow.com and have access to everything. So that's awesome. So what I want to talk about is what we're going to do, all right? I have kind of a plan. I plan to be around here for a while, despite what's going on. And so we're going to work on the Redwork this week, and I'll share with you Friday some of the really cool pieces I have, and then again, how to do these stitches. Then this next week, I'm going to do the lessons of Lucy Hilty, Beautifully Quilted. And then the next week, I'm going to do how to do binding and finishing a quilt and things like that. And what I'm doing is I'm stalling for the next week, okay? Because the next project that we're going to do, I am so excited about. I can barely stand it. So it's Jay. Oh, wait, I want to show you one other thing real quick. You know, you don't have to do this in Redwork, you guys. You can do it whatever color you want. I just finished this weekend my Tooth Fairy pillow for the kids. They love cats, and I can't share the pattern for you because I can't, it would be copyright issue. But then I went and I put little crystals in their eyes, which I think are just so adorable. And then they're cat people. And then on the back, I did a little pillow to put the tooth for the Tooth Fairy. And then Johnny comes with often these little tassels, and I thought that was real sweet. So Lennox knows I was working on this, and every time she comes to look to see if it's done, and she doesn't know I finished it. But I won't let her take it home until she has a loose tooth, all right? Isn't that the cutest, you guys? So, in fact, yes, this is a Johnny Was top. Adriana, what a beautiful name. Okay, so we back on to her school, okay, and the boy and William, the boys' school, the boy and the girls' school, and there's a field kind of between the school and us, of which now there are 4 goats, 3 pigs, chickens, and it's like Bubby has a farm right behind our house, and the kids love coming there in the evening and seeing them. The owner of the preschool had 2 locations, and one had to shut down because of the coronavirus. Just they didn't have enough people, so they're all back there, and I love it. But also there's a teeter-totter back there, and we have new windows in the house, so we can't hear squat outside. And I guess yesterday she's on the teeter-totter just screaming, "Bobby, Baba! Bobby, Baba!" And we didn't hear it, or else I would have gone out and seen her. So I digress. So what we're going to do, I want to show this pillow too. This is from the book. Oh, I guess I did show it. Okay. Oh, what you need to know about this book if you're interested in doing more patterns, I have a couple copies here at alexandersonquilts.com, but also if you want it like now, C&T Publishing has a downloadable book. So, this would be a perfect book for downloads because, it's basically just patterns. Now, one thing you have to do with these patterns, though, is some of them you have to blow up or double in size. So you have to have the ability to have a copy machine to do that. So, you guys know I'm all about Kafe, right? You know that. I love his fabric. And we wanted to provide fabric for the next thing that we're going to do. And the problem is we're in a real weird season where a lot of fabrics are phasing out and new fabrics are phasing in, but there are no fabrics. We wanted to work also with Editas, and we've actually ordered it, and that will be the next project after this project. So I'm planning to stick around. You guys, I love teaching. And so if I can just keep getting ideas. So somebody asked me once, how do you decide on what to do? And the truth of it is, 2 things happen at the same time. I come up with a general plan, and in this case, the Quick and Easy Block Tool is the general plan because I've shared this with you before. I absolutely love it. It's got 110 blocks in it, and they're all come in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sizes, cutting sizes. So, okay, I committed I'm going to do stuff out of this, another sampler type book, a quilt, because I think there's so much to be learned by piecing all these different blocks. But then, I got to put this on the table. This is just like, I love it. Okay, okay. All right, Kafe, you're doing it for me right now. Look at these, you guys. These are 1/2 yard cuts. I just got mine yesterday. And we doubled the amount that we ordered because I know you guys are just going to dig on this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, just do it to me. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's slide this light one in there. Now, right? Now, here's what you need to know. Let me see if I can get the light on it more than me. Let's see. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. Now, what's the problem with this? Well, in my book, there's a couple problems. First of all, it's all the same size and scale of print, but it's amazing to me how well they work together, right? But the other thing is there's no lights and there's no darks, right? So, I mean, I need some relief, at least for how I work. So what we're doing is we were able to secure this. Get over here, camera. Secure these half-yard cuts, and then we're going to put a solid bundle in with it that pick up the colors in here. And so then I haven't gotten those yet. And I have a plan in my mind. I'm not going to share it quite yet, but I am telling you it has to do with this, and it has to do with this, and it has to do with the solid fabrics. And then we're also going to have white fabric that you can get. So I'm killing time while we get these bundles so we can get them to you. But killing time is a bad expression because I think we're putting out some real valuable lessons here. And so what you need to know is get ready if you're going to want this fabric. Again, we doubled the order, but I think we're going to run out because this is just so seductive. I can't stand it. And I would also, if you need this book, order it at the same time as you order the fabric bundle, because if you spend over $100, and my guess is the kit will just be kind of right under 100. If you spend over 100, you get free shipping from us. Okay, so just understand that if you're going to do your own thing, go ahead and get your hands on this. And again, probably many of you already have this. And you can get this at thequiltshow.com in the store. So John is actually, I'm going to see if we have any questions and stuff because I'm not able to follow. Make the most of your time while you're waiting. Wow, look at all these comments. John, okay. One example, okay, let me see. Yeah, I'm going to keep this going. This is just too good of a way to reach quilters and draw you into our fold. Do we have any questions? Okay. So here, the other thing is that, what is the other thing? Is there anything else I'm missing here, John?
No, it is on the front of the...
Okay, so Kristen did put, what's on the front? The pattern? Love Thy Neighbor?
You can click to get people.
Okay, you go to the front page at thequiltshow.com and it is there. Love My Neighbor. It's my gift to you. So print it out. Get busy. Oh, the other thing from Taiwan. Iris is from Taiwan.
So from India.
And so John said India? Wow. See, that's the great thing of the internet is we can connect worldwide. Don't forget thequiltshow.com also has its masterclass piecing 2, and that particular quilt, it shows you how I pieced in those circles. Dale Fleming came up with that idea, and it's super awesome, groovy. So I'm going to say, be kind to yourself. Again, thank you for your grace and kindness on Monday. And what, honey? And John, hey guys, love thy neighbor. Got it? That's your job. Bye-bye.